Hello campers! I hope you're enjoying the many activities that came in your camp box. This video will show you how to make and use a basic solar oven. To melt our s'mores, we're going to harness a few scientific concepts. Reflectance refers to how much light and heat energy is reflected by a surface or material. Absorbance refers to how much light and heat energy is absorbed by a surface or material. If a surface or material has a high degree of reflectance, it has low absorbance, and if it has a high degree of absorbance, it has low reflectance. Scientists measure and describe reflection and absorption using the term albedo, which is a ratio of the light reflected to the light absorbed. A maximum albedo of 1 means that all the light is reflected, while a minimum albedo of 0 means all the light has been absorbed. Different colors reflect different amounts of light and different amounts of heat energy from light. For example, a white shirt reflects more light and heat than a black shirt. So if you're hiking in hot, sunny conditions, you can stay cooler by wearing white or light-colored clothing. Different types of materials can also be more or less reflective. The highly reflective silver sunshades that people put in their car windshields in the summer are an example of using reflectance to reduce the amount of heat energy that is absorbed by the car. By paying attention to what types of materials and colors of materials reflect and absorb light and heat energy, we can reduce the impact of the sun and keep things cool, such as by wearing a white shirt or using a sunshade in a car windshield, or amplify the effect of the sun to make something warmer, as we'll be doing with our solar oven. Our solar ovens will use principles of reflectance and absorbance to maximize the solar energy and heat that we can collect. To get started, make sure that you have all the materials you need. From your camp box, you should have a black sheet of paper, a large square of tin foil, a gallon-sized plastic bag, your graham crackers, marshmallows, and chocolate. And of course, you'll need the box that your camp materials came in. You're also going to need some tape, and if you'd like to add insulation to your oven, which this is completely optional, you can grab some old newspapers as well. If you haven't gathered your materials yet, pause the video to do so now. Alright, let's get started. To use your box as a solar oven, we need to make a few additions to amplify the effect of the sun. First, place your black sheet of paper in the bottom of the box. This paper will help increase the temperature in your solar oven because black absorbs more light than the light brown of the cardboard. A black sheet of paper has very low albedo, meaning it absorbs most of the light. Next, we're going to cover the inside of the box lid with the tin foil, folding the foil around the edges of the lid so that it stays on. And to maximize the reflexivity, you want to put the shiniest side of your foil. You'll notice there's kind of a dull side and a shiny side. We'll put that shiniest side facing outward. Folding the foil over the edge of the lid should be enough to keep it on, but if you're having trouble, you can tape the edges of the foil on the back. I'm going to tape it just in case. Foil has a very high albedo, and we'll use this high degree of reflectivity to direct more of the sun's light toward the black sheet of paper and inside the oven. Now, take the 1 gallon bag and line it up with the box, with the Ziploc top pointing towards one side. Using tape, we're going to tape one edge of the bag, or one edge of the bag to one edge of the box. I find it's easier to tape this edge that is opposite the lid. And ideally, we want to make sure that there aren't going to be any gaps between the box and the bag, but we also want to make sure that there's enough, that it's balanced enough over the opening so that the bag is still going to reach all the other edges of the box. We're going to leave the other 3 sides untaped for now because we need to put the s'mores in before we close up the box. If you want to add insulation to your solar oven, you can use those old newspapers, roll them up into a tube. Go ahead and tape that tube shut. And then you would line the inside of your box with those rolls of newspaper. So you can see here I added 1, and if I wanted to insulate the whole thing, I would run rolls of newspaper all around the edges of the box. Again, this is completely optional, but it's something you can try if you want to add to your oven's ability to maintain heat. The next step will be to set up the oven outside. Ideally, you want to do this on a sunny day. The best time to use the oven is between around 11 a.m. and 4 or 5 p.m. Make sure that the open part of the box will be facing where the sun is in the sky, and that your reflecting lid is facing the sun. Typically, this means facing the box to the south if you're in Utah. If you're making your s'more earlier in the day, you may want to turn it slightly southeast, since the sun rises in the east. And if you're making them later in the day, you may want to turn it slightly southwest, because the sun sets in the west. Check to make sure that the lid is bent down enough to reflect sun into the box, but it's not hanging so low that it blocks the sun. The cant box lid should naturally stick up in an open position, but if it's falling too low, as if closing the box, you may want to use a pencil, ruler, or stick to help prop the lid up.
Since it's a little bit windy, I'm going to put some rocks in the corners of my oven so it doesn't blow away.
After placing your box, assemble the s'mores. To make 2 s'mores, 1 for you and 1 for a sibling or friend, place 2 graham cracker squares on the black paper in the box. On top of the graham crackers, place a square of chocolate and a marshmallow. You can choose whether to put the marshmallow on top or the chocolate. Or you could do 1 s'more each way to experiment with which makes the best solar s'more. Don't put a graham cracker square on top of the s'more just yet. Fold the Ziploc bag, currently taped on one side, over the top of the box and tape the remaining edges, so both of the short sides and the side that connects to the lid. You'll tape the plastic bag right where that lid is connected to the main box. As your oven heats up, this plastic will help keep hot air in the oven, kind of like an oven door. It needs to stay closed to stay warm. Now we wait. Depending on how your box is placed and how sunny and warm it is on the day that you use your oven, it could take 30 minutes to a few hours to melt your s'mores. While you won't be able to see much change watching the oven constantly, check your s'mores every 30 to 60 minutes. Once the chocolate and marshmallows have melted to your liking, you can open up the oven, add the top graham cracker square, and enjoy.
Alright, it's the big reveal. Now we can put the graham crackers on top. Oh my gosh.
Once you've perfected the solar s'more, think about what other items you might be able to melt or bake in your solar oven. Buttered toast? Chocolate chip cookies? Why don't you go ahead and give it a try?